Hey Neds, how y'all doing out there in Axel and Marie world? I hope you guys are having a good night. I hope you guys are having a good night. Y'all, I'm in the big Texas, and y'all know we had a winter storm, and so we're getting through this. I would tell you a story if I said I'm not enjoying my break, because I am. But anywho, Neds, welcome. For those of you who are just now joining and your first time listening, this is Creole Roots by Axel and Marie. This podcast is created and dedicated to my beautiful mother and grandmother who bestowed so much wisdom and knowledge upon me and my siblings. I don't know it all, y'all, but what I do know, I will share, and what I don't know, I will research. Okay, so listen, I don't know everything, but look, I'm good at putting two and two together, honey. But anywho, welcome, y'all. I hope you guys are just enjoying yourself tonight. Y'all, I know y'all ready for this podcast episode. I know y'all ready for the title, and y'all know my titles deal with just life experiences of things that I've been through. And so the title of this, y'all, is called My Side of the Story. My Side of the Story. Y'all, have y'all ever been in situations where you feel like you have to prove yourself or tell your side of the story, explain yourself, because you got to get the business clear? You hear me? You got to get the business clear. And so you telling your side of the story, and you thinking it's going to rectify everything, because you got to let them know this is not who I am. This isn't true. This isn't right. And so that was me a couple years ago, y'all. That was me. I was always trying to rectify something, always trying to prove that I'm not who they say I am. And by me doing that, I used to make a bigger mess than what it was, because I was trying to clear the air. And it took me just being grown, a grown woman, to say, hey, Shay, I don't care. Hey, Shay, it is what it is. And so I would talk to my mom. This is when she was here. And I would tell my mom, like, everything was going on, because, y'all, when I became a mother, I think I'm gonna go back. When I got into college, my mother became my best friend. When I got to college, when I went to Southern University, honey, and I started just like experiencing life, and I realized that she wasn't judgmental, and what she did in high school was to protect me, I really started telling my mom a lot of stuff. And so when I became a mother, I really shared with her a lot of things. And so I always told myself, like, I can't not share with her, because she's my help. And so whenever I got myself into a bind, she was who I went to. But if I told her a story, it would backfire. So let me just tell her the truth. And so that's how I started just explaining and telling my mom things, and just really talking to her. And so, I was just telling her about this situation that was going on. I was upset. I was letting her know I'm trying to clear the air. I'm trying to rectify myself. I'm trying to rectify my name, vindicate myself. What they're saying isn't true, blase. And my mom told me something that her mom told her that I'm going to share with you. She said, well, if you don't tell them, is it going to kill you? And I was like, well, no, it's not. She said, I'm going to ask you again, like my mom used to tell me. If you don't tell them, if you don't get this point across, if you don't share this bit of information, is it going to kill you? Are you going to sleep at night? I was like, yes, ma'am. Well, then let it go. Let it go. And then it's something else my grandmother used to share. She would say, God is the best detective. Whatever needs to come out, he's going to bring it out. Whatever needs to be said is going to be said. And you don't necessarily have to say it. And you guys, that was everything to me, because at that time I was still like, I wasn't a young girl. I was like maybe in my mid-20s. Your girl, oh honey, I was in my mid-20s, y'all. And so I was like still trying to, figure out life. And so mid-20s, late 20s, I would say. And my mom was like, no, you don't have to do that. And so as I got older and I, got wise, I realized, you know what? I don't have to tell my side of the story. And so anybody who's out there listening in Axel and Marie world, and you feel like it's necessary to tell your side of the story, don't. I'm going to tell you what your side of the story is. Silence, success, happiness, joy, God. That is your side of the story. And I tell you this, y'all, because y'all, again, let me go back. Y'all know I'm from a small town, and it ain't nothing to get messed started. You hear me? And I've always been very popular, and I've always had a handful of people who just couldn't stand me. You hear me? It was never because they didn't like me. It was always because they ain't like me because of a boy or something like that. Like, it was never because of me personally. It was because of what? The entanglement or whatever. So anywho, and y'all, please believe Facebook at the time will be bumping. And when I tell you, anytime somebody had something to say about me, it was Facebook. Oh, let me go on Facebook and let me blast her. Let me just tell all the tea and let me convince people this is who she really is. And y'all, I'm like, should I defend myself or should I go on there and just go ham? Like, what should I do, Shay? And God would just sit me down and say, like, something said in my spirit, don't move. Just let it be. And so one time, y'all, somebody made a Facebook post about me. They was going ham about me, y'all. Keep in mind, none of it was true, which made me not mad because it was funny. It was comical. But what's more comical was in the comments were a bunch of people comment that I never knew. I never knew. And what's even funnier is that I would have never known the post was made about me until someone sent me, like, this is what's going on. I'm like, huh? I'm working. I'm being a mother. I'm being a wife. I don't know what's going on. And so, and I go look and I look at the comments and I see a whole bunch of people, because I'm still flesh sometimes. I was going to go in and just go ham and just say, this is what this and this is not true. And I looked at the comments. I don't know none of these people. And so my high-headed self had to calm myself down and just like ignore it, because like I was like, I'm not about to get on here and explain. I have too much to lose. And that's another thing. When you have a lot to lose and you have more to lose than the people who are starting the rumors and discussing you just need to sit in silence. Because every time, you don't need to come back. You don't need a comeback. You don't need revenge. Just sit back and let God do his thing. And so I just sat back, thought about my lovely mother and grandmother, kept my mouth quiet, went to work, did what I had to do. And y'all, I'm going to tell you, one day I was driving and I was looking. I always tell this story. I was looking around. I was looking at the pretty place that I live in. And I came home and I looked at my house. And I looked at where I lived, and I looked at my children and the fact that I get to walk into school with them every morning. And I looked at my oldest son who's graduating high school soon. And I looked at my baby girl, and I looked at my husband. I looked at my life. And something said in my spirit and said, your life is your side of the story. How you live your life is your side of the story. Your success is your side of the story. And I thought about all the Facebook posts, which wasn't many, Shay. It wasn't many, but I thought about the Facebook posts. I thought about the rumors people said. I thought about everything people did from high school. And my life has always been my side of the story. Because no matter what happened, I was resilient in everything I did. And God saw me through everything I did. And the favor of God, even when I was doing the absolute most in them streets, honey, was still on me because of my mothers and my grandmothers and my fathers and my great ancestors, all of their prayers. And the enemy saw that. And the best thing the enemy can do is get a reaction out of you. It satisfies him for you to be mad with other people. It satisfies him for you to argue with other people. Because you can't do God's work with a hateful heart. And so I thought back to high school when the girls would say rumors about me. And yet I still had my friends, and I had the best time in high school. In college, it wasn't so bad. I'm going to tell you, because when I went to Southern, I was surrounded around a bunch of beautiful girls who had the same goals as me. And so they weren't hateful. But when I got back to my little town that I grew up in, after I finished college, it started back. And when I moved away, it was still simmering, but it left. And I'm going to tell you what happened. The reason why I completely stopped on my end It's because I don't entertain it. It's because my side of the story is my life. You can say anything you want to say about me. Come look at my life. Come see how God has blessed me. And so this is for anybody out there in Axel Marie world. Next, listen to me. You don't have to argue. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to convince people you're right. You don't have to convince people who you are, because I'm going to tell you this. When somebody know you, they know you. And they know what you'll say and they know what you won't say. So those who know you know you. You don't have to convince them of anything. But those who don't, they don't. And no matter what you say, nothing you say will ever convince them that you're not that person, because they want to believe that you're that kind of person, because it does something for their spirit. So for those who are out there, listen to me. Nobody has 100% of people on their team. God, they hated Jesus. They hated him. And we're his children. So what you think they're going to do to you and how they're going to feel about you? So I tell you this, it's not your job to convince others that you're right, or they're wrong, or that you're happy. You don't have to convince anybody, because those who know you, and those who don't. But let me tell you what you do, sis. My brother. You pray for them. You let go. You let God. You live in peace. And you allow your side of the story to be your actions, your life, your success, your joy, and your peace. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys have a good night. And remember, your success is your side of the story. Good night, my loves.